drivers, and you're hoping to keep all mistakes behind you after last week, the weeks prior. You enter tonight with a clean slate and hope that this is going to be your perfect race. For some, to get into the playoff, get into the championship round of the playoffs. For others, it's just to find the right footing before the season's over. But for us, we're excited to give you the coverage once again here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Tonight's race is Richmond. For
ready to go?
80 laps. It's gonna
Oh yeah.
one stage break at the end of lap 40. No fast repairs. 4 extra sets of tires in pit road. And fuel, well, they might not have to worry about it here tonight, as if we have too many cautions, they might not have to pit. But here's your starting grid. Top of the board,
pitting.
Vincent Sora in the
Start
Yeah,
P8.
driver. That's
180 laps.
Vincent Sora, Ryan Kelly, Zach Hall, John Forbes, Gavin Rogers,
Kelly in
Chris
second place for the
Fitz,
3. Zach
Shane Therian, and then you with Brian Johnson and Cedric Hunter for the top 10.
Outside looking in, entering tonight will be in 4th. The driver with the most points entering
Not
this
too
evening,
shabby.
the most probably comfortable seat besides could be Cedric Hunter.
Hello,
Gavin
Derek.
Rogers in 5th. Chris Stitz starting in 6th. 7th is Shane Tarian, who's going to be trying to play a little bit of spoiler here this evening with a good run. Brian McCann in 8th place for the 8. Then we fall down to 9th where we find Brian P. Johnson, who's
Richmond.
cut off driver, just 1 point advance.
Some drivers are getting cut out tonight.
Finishing out our top 10, the one driver who's locked in to your championship round, we got the 13, that's Cedric Hunter.
And then going off right behind him in the 11th, Larry Yingling, Tom Bourne in 12th, Kenny
Yeah, I got the
Campbell
engine
in
off.
13th, and Nick Crawford in 14th position.
Thanks for reminding me, though. We got 15 seconds left.
Christopher Norris in 16th. GT.
Now everybody's gridded, so we're 10 seconds early.
Joshua Canada, our driver in 11th place in points, is going to be rolling off in 18th position tonight. 19th is going to be Brian Novell, and Aaron Smith the second, and 20th is going to be coming deep from there for his playoff run.
Yeah, and kind of shocking. All 3 of the drivers that are part of Lucky Ducks going to be right around one another. So all of that try to.
Oh, we got 190 laps in there. Fuel ain't a problem. Unless it goes 180, but we're going to get tires if it goes green, white, checker.
So Aaron Smith second, Drew Jua, they've got to work through most of the field.
So yeah, I think we're good on fuel.
Some points to make the playoffs. We'll see how they can continue on with that. 22nd position's the 2 of Danny Cochran. 23rd is the 24th.
Tires pretty much level out too, so.
Heaney in 24th. Justin Forbes, excuse me, in 25th, and Douglas Newbiggie, the last Lucky Ducks driver, all the way down in 26th position. I gotta say, Justin, looking at the way that we were seeing the warm-ups for Lucky Ducks,
everything that happened
that
day,
qualifying attempt is shocking. They've got a lot of work to get forward, and they've got to make sure that they are at least close to being inside of the stage points by the end of lap 40, because stage points, I think, might be the key factor of who's in or.
All right, buddy, tonight's going to be all about rhythm. Set it up, light it up.
And it being on lap 40, and if this race stays green, lap 40 could be here in about 10 minutes, Sam. So
All about that tire too.
You really,
Of course, we were practicing during the day.
a special.
I wonder if it's any different at night.
This is sponsored by the Tunnel to Towers Foundation.
Well, let's take a look. The weather is such a big thing last night. Let's take a look tonight.
In a terrorist, the World Trade Center.
80 track and 76 air.
The Towers Foundation was created to honor firefighters.
I think I got enough adjustment everywhere to get to where I need to be.
The foundation.
If we have to run 4th, I can run 4th.
Veterans and families of fallen heroes by providing mortgage-free housing and
But for now, I'm going to run 5th.
assistance to donate to Tunnels to Towers Foundation and help continue their mission of honoring and supporting the nation's heroes.
Some other people might be going 4th.
Their website at t2.org or text
Ready.
T2
Go, go, go.
199.
You went early.
Thank you so much for being an incredible sponsor for an incredible day and race. As
Shane Therian's low.
for the drivers,
He's all the way down in the yellow. You got some room.
Towers Foundation 180.
13's with you. 28's now going to try looking low. Nothing there. You are clear low if you want it.
Sora, Ryan Kelly side by side, but Sora
Still clear.
as he pulls away.
you can see the 3-car twitching right there, that blue and white car.
Take my spotter.
Let me turn that spotter off.
Just trying to get that grip. Right now he's still running up high, trying to chase down Vincent Sora.
I got you. 28 now down low.
That's the important lap for Vincent Sora. Gets that bonus.
13's going to give you a little bit of a bump.
A little bit extra comfortable. It's a battle between second. Zach Hall.
28 still low.
He's back straightaways. You see the car still twitching coming out of the corner just ever so slightly.
And we're going to see that all night long. The drive
Get off the wall.
Get off the wall, Brian.
full of this machine. That it's tough getting
I couldn't pull away too hard. I was going to hit the car below me.
the rear brakes.
I was a little tight.
More
Are you clear low?
It seems like that it just wants to spin out the rear end when you get on the brakes on entry, and then off the exit. I think everyone knows
That's my teammate, Bob. That's my teammate. I'm gonna let him go.
Snapping loose with
Damn, I hit the wall again.
to a
13 with you.
This track is a handful. Vincent Sora leads the way and gets himself that one bonus point for leading a lap. Can be so
Clear inside.
Those bonus points, and once you playoff bonus points, are going to be taken away entering next round, but they're so crucial to make it to
Still
the
clear on the bottom.
It's about for third. It's Zach.
There you go.
Forbes Jr. side by side with one another as Zach Hall able to conquer and save that third place position.
There you go. Way to stop the bleeding. Stay low. Rack up high. Stay low.
Clear in front.
Watch your teammate. There you go.
Battle. Gavin Rogers. Right.
Yellow's out.
Inside, gonna get into no.
Four, they get into one another. Outside, also gonna be seeing Shane Terry involved, and just a little bit too aggressive. And John Forbes, who needs points, spun around and heads to the back.
Wow, you saw it live. You heard the emotion change in our voices. That is not what he needed to see. I mean, I don't see a ton of damage. You're gonna see right here on the back. I'm not seeing the major damage, but wow, he just drove it in there. The tires were not ready. They weren't warmed up yet, I don't think, and he just didn't have the grip
for that one.
Just trying to get a little bit too much early in this race. Gavin Rogers, good on points. He can get aggressive. John Forbes, on the other hand, he cannot have this type of a run.
I like that 75 car there.
Up on the outside, but the contact looked to be pretty.
Yeah, it looks pretty good
on damage-wise, but it's that track key factor of track position completely lost on the 11, who once was battling for third, now all the way back to 25th position.
Yeah, these cars definitely can take a beating. We know that. We talk about it quite often. I didn't see any damage there on the tires, the wheels. That all looked good. The suspension, it was just the back, but not even seeing it really crease.
He's got the whole red, white, and blue with the Pentagon on the hood.
More about the number 9.
Yeah, looks nice.
Kind of got a little bit of.
There's that metallic red.
Right front into the wall. So
that's really bright.
Take note on that. But 7. Not seeing any drivers really decide to go in and take any tires, which I agree with Sam.
I haven't seen the front of it.
That's later in this race.
You certainly do. Into pit road, John Forbes Jr., Shane Taryn, both going to get repairs done for themselves and then get back out there on track as, again, stage break at the end of lap 40. We get a quick couple of cautions here, Justin, and the stage is over. And I think a lot of these drivers now, with this early caution, are going to realize if you're outside the top 10 and you're a playoff contender, you have to go now. And those two drivers that are outside looking in at this moment, Aaron Smith second, Drew Jua, they were able to advance in positions by 5 spots just in those early couple of laps.
Dang, Aaron started way back there.
And 16th for the Lucky Duck drivers. They need a couple more positions.
Yeah, he started 20th.
Top 10 and get those bonus points that are so needed.
Jua started 21st, and he's just been following Aaron through.
Points position to try to outpoint their other competitors.
He must have slipped up in qualifying to get the second lap in.
Relieved that they're able to get into the top 10. One, they got a little bit of stage points, not a lot, but if they could get a couple, even 1 or 2, they'll feel good. But I think the other thing, Sam, is they're going to feel really good knowing that they have a fast car if they're able to drive into the top 10 before lap 40. So I think more importantly, they're looking to know that they have that reassurance of the right brake package and the right handle on this track, especially as it starts to cool off. As you see, that sun is now getting behind the grandstands.
Sun's starting to fade down. Update on Shane Tarian, did go a lap down, spent all his time getting repairs done. I think recognizing, okay, we have at least a stage yellow ahead of us, so if I'm at least just the only driver. All
right, lights on the pace car are out. Going to go back green this time.
For John Forbes, though, he will be a driver that pitted, just got service done on repairs, and we'll see how well he can try to tackle and move.
Your teammate sitting outside.
Restart getting a little
right
bit
now.
Damage repair done. But up front, it's going to be Vincent Sora.
Race cars off.
Front 2, Zach Hall.
In the restart zone. Ready.
In the second
go.
row, Gavin Rogers, who went that aggressive mode. It'll be the third driver on the inside row. We'll see if the 75 continues with his aggression, or maybe do they call.
Got 17 low.
Is back in the air for the tunnel.
06 going to help him. Got your split right now. 13's going to give you a little bit of a bump.
Gone. Rest of the field going to be
backed off.
All the way through from third on back.
Ryan Kelly's able to clear the third place machine this time.
06 now low. Watch the wall.
Chance to see if he can do anything.
I'm all about that wall.
Restart. Not looking like he's going to be able to, but Brian.
All about that wall. About that wall.
Around Zach Alton, Brian Pete Johnson up into third.
All right, clear inside.
They're closer to this battle, closer to getting those points potentially if he's able to lead a lap here.
Still clear low.
The stage points for later on when it comes at lap be 39 laps away, 31, excuse me.
And drivers that, again, need to get inside of the top 10. That yellow 70 machine, the blue and red 77 of Drew Jewell need stage
Clear up and up.
Make sure that they are not out of reach heading after this stage. Stage break at the end of lap
13 now outside.
Looking good for Vincent Sora to be up front and down.
15's with you. Hold on, wait.
Stuck in a little bit of contact.
Good save, good save.
It looked like he got put in the outside wall. No, it was Danny Cochran, excuse me. And
Out of nowhere, it just kicked out.
So up front, it's the 8, Ryan McCann, who gets out of trouble.
You're clear up.
Pointing straight, so a couple of
now not
striking in just one lap, but they keep it straight. We continue to stay green. That's the big thing for the driver.
All right, to clear all the way up.
Want it to stay green currently.
Yes, you see the first incident was John Forbes. You see him at the back of that photo of this video right here, just trying to make up some ground. But Ryan McCann can't do something.
16, and you are clear.
Time right here, we're watching Aaron Smith trying to make up, see if he can get inside that top 10, but he's there.
Right.
I don't know if he's going to be able to do it. He's still got.
It's all about rhythm now, Brian. Keep it off the walls.
There is also
Oh my goodness!
a note that I have actually kind of washed over for a quick.
Everybody in front of me is twitching too.
Kind of.
All right, 16's inside.
Machine on the 16 of Joshua Kanata. He finds himself back in 18th position. He also is going to tag along with the Lucky Duck drivers and move forward.
Still there.
As Joshua Kanata, if he does not get stage bonus points, and some of those big cutoff drivers do get massive stage points, this 16 could be turning into.
He threw it in. You are.
I do, Derek.
In just that of 15 laps from now. So
Get back inside again. 14 low.
Changing dramatically here as this race progresses forward, as
Next door.
stay side by side from 8th on back.
I can't stay off that wall.
Is that driver trying to mount his way forward?
Yeah, I see that. You're okay though. These things are tanks. It can take a little bit. 11 now inside. He's all over your left rear.
Hello Kitty car right there is just out.
All right, inside now.
This race right now has no.
He can't keep it down, Brian. You might have to give him a little bit wider of a berth.
This week he's advancing to next week.
He's on you.
No matter what,
Hold the line.
he will be fighting for that championship still, and that's the importance of getting that win that we talk about.
Yeah, that win last week, so crucial. Now it's 5 other spots wide open. It's 4
Still there, left rear.
and we'll see how this field continues to react as we're almost halfway.
Still there. You're pinching him down.
Vincent Sora's
Side by side.
a second gap lead over Ryan Kelly. And, you know, looking at this field right now, Justin, Richmond, such a
Pinching him down.
most times when we've seen it throughout
Inside door.
we call it career. This track has been so one-dimensional. It's
Left front.
yellow line through the corner, but we're seeing that outside groove. They're trying to fight even this late into a run.
Yeah, it seems like in this next gen car,
The front straight is not straight. You are correct.
the second group will at least work, especially here at Richmond, like you said, Sam. This has always just been a track where they're just down on that yellow line, and right now on the front straightaway, you're not going to be on that yellow line. When they get to this corner right there, they just want to be down there. It seems like that's what.
7's inside.
It is interesting. There was times where sometimes second, third, fourth lanes would work at Richmond. Very weird.
Are they still in 4th gear?
Sealer on the ground, but not in this iRacing scan of this track.
I'll check with the leader here once you're clear.
I see a lot of them are in 4th.
And these drivers are going to be shifting using that gear, trying to launch out of that corner.
I thought it would
That
switch back around about lap 15, but it has not.
tactic was going to be the best to utilize as Christopher Norris, he's an
Let's see, checking in with the leader right now.
behind Ken Campbell for 11th place. But that was
He went into 4th, going into turn 1 and 2.
was the way
4th, 5th very quickly, and then back to 4th again, going into 3 and 4.
to drive this course as right
4th on exit,
he is shifting 4th gear for most.
5th at the line.
Only when you hit the front stretch that we're going to see the 38 shift into 5th gear, and it's going to be
4th in the middle of 1 and 2, which is kind of interesting.
that discussion of shifting or not has been a fun
4th all the way down the back stretch.
couple of months of how Richmond has changed of being in 5th gear all the time this next gen to then shifting, and it's kind of the iRacing setup on it.
5th just after the line, and then
You can see right here, it was very
4th
forward.
back into turn 1.
5th gear
It's kind of interesting. He's actually going to 4th while he's already turning into 1 and 2.
corner and be able to turn underneath, just asking more out of this.
Keep from using the rear to slow down.
He's using a lot of brake.
15 McCann Campbell, but he just
Yep.
can't get back to the throttle and stay there. And the 15's just got that preferred line. He's able to enter a little bit better, and Right here now, Norris is going to try and pull to the outside a little bit, maybe get a run coming underneath. But Sam, you're just asking so much out of the tires. They just slide coming out of turn 4. As you see the 70, saw that little wiggle. He's kind of got up there and slapped that wall coming out of the corner himself.
Yeah, and for Christopher Norris, Ken Campbell, they got to be careful because we're going to see Aaron Smith second.
3 wide in front of you. Stay low.
They are not going to be very.
I can be able to take the spot for from the 14. There you go.
Dive bomb move by John Forbes as he dives it down, muscles up GT Rosari. Dallas Newbigin down to the track underneath the 11. And Forbes, he's also getting a little bit dramatic because he recognizes stage points.
2-car got a good launch off
chances.
Corner inside. Whoa! He did not hold that corner at all.
On the fact that he has to drive so hard and aggressive on this set of tires.
Way to save it, Brian. Good job.
Overheating, and he is overheating as well, it looks like, on some of the moves he's taking.
Worth is still dominant, though.
Those tires.
I refuse to use it.
Beginning of lap 4 there, they're probably still a little warm. And like you said, driving so hard, and he made that move, drove GT Rosari up the track, and now GT Rosari is going to be behind him soon if the 11 doesn't get going, because the 7 got around him, kind of drove the 11 back up the track, and this is where short track tempers can easily start happen.
I think they'll come back to me.
16, he's on the outside of the 7. That blue car, Douglas Newbigin, 16.
We'll see. We got a long way to go. Only lap 28.
To advance. He's got to win, though. Like you said, if he's not getting these stage points, it's going to change from pointing your way in to guarantee to only winning.
So we also need to move up, though, to the back.
The only thing is the leader right now is already halfway down the backstretch.
They were forced 3 wide.
So they'd have to come back to you in a hurry.
It ain't working right now. I guarantee.
If he's not,
I understand that. Ooh.
Fuming as the 77's trying to settle.
And I'm locking my left front up.
Attempt another dive bomb move on this 38 and the 15, or at least one.
I keep backing the brake bias down.
Try to get a good run off the exit of the corner.
But yeah, I think my right front's giving out.
It looks like for the 77, Drew Jua is trying to set up a pass on Christopher Norris. There's the run, there's the pressure, and to the inside.
14 got loose behind you.
It's Drew Jua, and finally having a chance.
He saved it, no caution.
But Norris, because he's on the outer groove, gets the better run, holds the position for now, but they stay side by side through 3 and 4, but the 77, again, just can't get the run, and this is the trouble.
If we got to go 180 laps,
the trouble, like you said,
I'm running 5th gear.
The track just does not have the grip. This track never has any grip.
I think those guys in 4th are going to start having a problem.
It's hard to pass at any track. Everyone's obviously trying to go as fast as they can, brake as late as they can. Right now, these brakes are hot, the tires are hot. There's just no grip. You want to get to the outside of it.
Let's see, your last lap time was a 23:02. The leader's last lap time was a 22:93.
Behind the scenes.
So you're only half a tenth off. It's just all about track position.
You would think. But I know a lot of people have been having little small rivalries with the Lucky Ducks drivers. I mean, you see how they're trying to take every tactic possible. We saw during qualifying, it backfired here.
That time is a 22:90 to a 23:11.
Aggressively than I think they would other drivers throughout this race. In trying to hold back any Lucky Duck drivers from making it to the championship round is going to be a tall task for themselves, as Drew Jua finally able to get at least a nose ahead of Christopher Norris. Now going to try to set up a pass on Ken Campbell. Goes a little bit too wide, gets into the 15, and Norris thought he was going to be able to make a switchback move. Not able to do so, but 34 laps in, the stage is closing up. And the main position is Chris Stitz in the...
I really wanted to go that time.
Right, number 17. That is your 10th place cutoff driver. Now it's going to turn into Tom Bourne. Tom Bourne having issues, and now Ken Campbell is that 10th place position. Tom Bourne loses spots. Trouble off the exit of turn 2, and now Campbell is the final 10th place spot. Bonus points are now in the grasp of Drew Jua.
Tom Bourne gives up about an 8th place position there. Coming out of the corner, just seems like he has some issue. Lost a couple ground, and that's going to change everything. This battle right here is 4 points. You are watching live. The 77, the desperation right now, needing to get around the 15 to at least get 1 point. 1 point might not sound like much, but how many times does it come down to a tie? Or 1 point, so the 77 right now, he has 4 laps to do it. He's got to get around this 15.
And Drew Jua entering tonight just being 3 points behind Brian Johnson.
Inside.
Johnson, he currently runs 4th. This gap is going to improve.
Good launch off.
Bigger.
Left rear.
This stage is over. A lot of the other contenders that are already inside our top 16 are running far up on the leaderboard currently.
Good launch right there. You are clear. Good job.
someone that's in our top 6 entering tonight has to completely fall apart after this stage to give any opportunity for Aaron Smith second, John Forbes Jr., Drew Jua, Larry Yingling, or Joshua Kanata to get back into this fight because of how well.
Well, this guy in front of me is racing for playoffs.
Johnson's, Vincent Sora, Kelly, Paul, and Rogers at this time.
They are performing extremely well. It's like the team has all risen to the top, it seems, right here at Richmond tonight. But you were on board right here with Mission making this 7 machine coming out of the corner.
Yeah, well, you're racing for trophies, so.
Lead that pass on the side, holding that car.
Ain't racing for nothing back here.
Get out of the throttle, get extremely loose.
Not yet.
That's what,
like I said, it's a long race.
They get loose, they have to lift, they can't catch the slide, and that's how they end up smacking the wall.
Smacking the wall, and for Douglas Newton being able to get
140 to go.
battling for that 10th place spot. Drew Jua, for a moment, had a nose ahead over Ken Campbell. Campbell still fighting for this 10th place spot to hold it for himself. And now we're on the final lap of the stage. Will it be?
That was a good exit.
Drew Jua.
Very good exit.
This position. Campbell.
Yeah, you got to have that angle.
And Drew Jua.
I got to figure out how to get that angle every time.
Yeah.
Side by side down into turn number 3. But
Oh,
looks like for Campbell, he's trying to.
Actually, that might help us.
Yellow's out.
The corner. They're going to let 10th place race it out. It's going to be between Ken Campbell and Drew Jua, and Campbell holds on. Drew doesn't get the point.
Give me right sides.
Sideways in 77 came out of the corner. I mean, he did a good job, just not overcorrecting and turning back head on into the wall like we've seen.
Wait, we can't.
Previously,
Just right.
these tracks.
Give me fuel.
Tremendous
Yeah.
right there. It was,
Was that saying 97?
TV, but Sam
All right, fuel and rights.
So we couldn't make it from there, right?
And that was something also talked about during practice of if you overcorrect.
Yes, absolutely.
This is most likely over. You kind of have to just let the car spin out. That's what Drew did.
You're not going to make it on tires, though.
Save it for 11th place.
I thought,
for another day, but those bonus points, that one crucial bonus point that
you know what? Give me
game
4.
balloon
Give me 4.
to over double digits points that you're behind. Maybe it could have been 9, could have been 8. But instead, it is going to be a big picture to watch out for, as we'll try to calculate the points at our next commercial break. But for the drivers, they enter pit road. They're going to get service.
I forgot that left rear on this car wears down quick.
Leading the way. Curious if maybe we would see anyone.
Let me have my spotter.
Keep max speed, don't speed, though.
Kanata, if he would stay out, try to lead a lap, get a bonus point that way, and since he's so far back. But it looks like everyone coming into pit road, 4 tires and fuel, expecting that maybe this stop could be one of the final stops of the night.
Oh yeah, we wanted that left rear.
After
That thing was 92.
Justin, our first stage is over. 1 caution in the books. What some great racing these first 40 laps have given us.
All right, come. Don't speed.
They put on a good racing.
Forgot this car drives flat.
You see right here, we got a close battle off pit road. They kind of all take off at the same time, and luckily no contact made. But lap 43, like you said, they getting in there, getting those.
Am I blinking any, or is it other people?
I think these drivers right now, I'm actually shocked.
I don't see you blinking at all.
Stayed out to lead a lap, like you said. I mean, I would think Joshua Kanata, why not? I think that would be a smart move, get that 1 point, and that might be your only chance.
All right, gained a couple spots on pit road.
Get service done further on back as Shane Darian getting the lucky dog spot is back on the lead lap after getting his service done.
We got blinkers.
As he will now be set to the end of the line. But for us, we're going to go up to our leader currently and see if we can get a quick
They topped off on blinker fluid.
stage winner and see how he's feeling after those first 40 laps. Vinny, you win the stage, maximizing points there with leading the lap, winning the stage. Man, how are you feeling after these first 40 laps of the race?
I feel really good.
Am I gonna have to switch to shifting now?
On the calendar. I love this racetrack. And I've shown it in this league, and
I don't know.
I
That's
would.
90.
just how dominant.
Because you were hemorrhaging spots there.
The pole was big.
Yeah,
Because I know that clean air means so much. So
93, 92 though.
helped me. I know I was kind of close to the cutoff.
But I really wasn't never. I never really started gaining on them
the
though.
win, but I just need to be smart and keep myself
Right,
up.
I was
because the lower gear is going to give you higher
Like
torque.
you said, you need to be smart, but you're doing a great job up there. But like you said, when you look in your mirror right
They
now,
were killing you off the corner.
see all those drivers all year that have been right up there being really fast. So I'm sure you got a plan here on this restart to make sure you keep them all behind you.
Yeah, I think I pushed a little bit too hard in that last run at the early stages of it. So I think this run I just need to take it a little bit more easy and see what happens.
What I'd do if you feel you need to, run like the first 20
We'll
laps,
send you
shifting,
team here.
and then after that, see how it feels going up to 5th gear.
Enjoy this one, and good luck, and hopefully we talk to you at the end of the night.
Thank you, boys.
That will be your nightmare.
See if there's a happy medium there. There's a lot of racing yet to go.
Stage winner so far here tonight. Did a couple of notes in, and everyone that was inside of our top 6 points entering tonight. Justin, every single one of
those rear tires, that's what you got to have.
That
fourth gear burns them up quicker, though.
The only driver that was outside of our cut line that got stage bonus.
I'll just have to be easy on the throttle.
With where he finished in 5th place. Everyone else
find that comfort zone. I mean, if you don't want to, I mean, it's up to you.
Entering tonight.
No, I agree.
It's just watching everybody pass you was shifting.
But all those drivers.
No, I agree. It was like 30 laps worth.
Ready.
Drivers in the back.
Go.
Get them. They got it. Right here, you see Aaron Smith coming out of the pits. Blake gonna be able to catch up, but Josh Canada, those guys, they got to somehow figure out what they need to do to get these finishes.
16's outside.
Green flag is out.
Green flag is out for the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. 180.
There you go.
Tonight at Richmond, Vincent Sora is out front, wanting to lead every single lap if possible, and everyone else.
They're not getting away from you, Brian. You're doing a good job.
Brian P. Johnson, the rest of the field, trying to figure out how to get to that yellow line as soon as possible.
A little bit of a checkup on the bottom. You're okay.
He'll start for himself.
I'm going to be more easy than them on exit because I want to just save that rear in case we have to go green.
Will have to find himself trying.
I'll run 4th.
Down in a way, but that's going to be asking for a caution.
16 right rear.
But they'll pull on me right there.
Stay green.
Brian P. Johnson.
I don't want to hammer it like they are at that point.
He was in a couple spots. It wasn't too long ago. He was up in 3rd place, but now he's side by side with 13 and
16 still right rear.
Falling back a few spots there. Sam, I have to wonder what was Ruju doing going back in, popping off on fuel, getting that extra lap or two. Is he seen something maybe where he's thinking, hey, maybe I could make it here?
It was about lap 6 or 7 before where it started to want to step out to you, so kind of keep that in the back of your mind.
I'm keeping up with him at 5th, though.
Seven's night could be over already. He's 42nd hold, it looks like.
Well, right now they're double file after about P7.
If they single out here in front of me, I might not be able to keep up with them.
Here's what exactly the penalty was for, maybe at the commitment line, come out of the pits or something. But
16 still outside.
On his way to getting the bonus point, couldn't get the job done. Now, unfortunately, he's going to be, like you said, 2 laps.
Not clear.
How's he going to catch back up?
Oh, the frustration is mounting even more.
16's throwing in. He's gonna wear out his stuff.
2nd hold for himself. Drew Jewell's race. He'll only be 2 laps down by getting back out on course, but this is going to be a long night. He needs a couple of cautions and to get those lucky dog spots back, if possible.
There it is. A little bit of a kick. You're okay.
It is still going to be Vincent Sora, a couple of other drivers that are trying to ramp their way.
16 still door.
16, Joshua Kanata, Brian McCann. They're racing for 14th position. John Forbes able to move up to 12th. So John Forbes has done a pretty decent job in the 11 machine to recover as much as he can. Again, was once battling for 4th and 3rd place before being
16 still outside.
Rogers, the 11 is trying to recover.
He's not giving up at all.
For John Forbes, his race might turn into a must-win scenario with the way that these points
might just drop behind them.
are racing at this moment.
He might just be the driver to get it done. He's learning right now how to pass, have to come from the back.
Oh, you're making him use up his stuff. I mean, if you feel pretty good.
If you slap.
All right, clear.
Might not be too long that he's going to be back up.
I'm just using my stuff up, too.
As we're watching Christopher Norris can handle, they're back to their duel that is now for 10th place after a couple of drivers slipping up. Tom Bourne, who was
14's on your backside.
to 20th.
You are clear, though.
Terry also runs as Campbell into that outside wall. And Justin, you kind of touch on this track a little bit more than probably I.
All single file, all the way back to you now.
Richmond is with the exit of turns 2 and off the exit of turn 4.
Yeah, let's go on board right here. We'll stay. All right, even right here might give us even a better angle. Right here, you come out of this corner and you think you can slide up. You're trying to carry this.
Leader's last lap was a 22.63. Yours was an 88.
Out of grip really fast. You got to slow down really hard here. Some of these drivers will choose to shift. And if you do, you're coming out with all that power. And this track coming out is shaped like a D, where this turn is extremely tight that they just came out of. And then they're going to come in here where they have a easier turn to get into. But the problem is trying to exit and carry that speed. You start sliding the rear end and you just come up and slap that wall right there. And especially how it's white and red like that, it kind of just plays on your eyes.
Good exit.
Easy and kind of get sucked into it. very, very easy right here. Going to be a flat exit coming out of that corner, and same thing.
Right front.
See right there how you turn to the right a little bit
Clear.
on the steering wheel? That was that car just getting a little loose coming out of the corner. You had to turn a little bit to the right just to keep that rear tire from spinning out.
That slight counter steer to try to keep yourself pointing straight if possible. As John Forbes continues his way forward. Up front, though, the challenge for the lead, we might actually have a true challenger. Zach Hall is putting the pressure on Vincent Sora. First time I would say here tonight, besides lap 2, Vincent Sora is out of contender trying to keep up with the 15, and Zach Hall, who's trying to get himself into victory lane once again.
You've got the 14B on exit. He's a little bit deeper getting into the corner than you are.
Drivers that have both won 3 times this season, but Vincent Sora might have other questions. And these two drivers, the history, Justin, Vincent Sora actually joined the team of Zach Hall, Cedric Hunter, and Brian P. Johnson at Category 5. They taught this kid a little nuggets here and there that kind of made Vinny so dominant when he first joined WSSR back in season 4 and 5, where we went back to back. And now for Zach Hall, he wants redemption. He wants to get some payback. He went over Vincent Sora for another time this season, as they had such a dynamic duel. Think back to Indianapolis earlier this season. It looks like we might have another classic in front of us if Vincent Sora can stay on track, because he has a quick blink there as he holds on to the lead.
The Indianapolis race you spoke of, it was such a fun battle, and we remember hearing, and right now we got the battle. Here he is, Zach Hall dropping to the inside. The problem's going to be, how do you get around? We see how hard this is to pass. We know Zach Hall is going to be good, but can he do it? Ryan Kelly right now is watching these two battle and saying, do it for about 5 more laps, and I'm going to be up there.
Battle hard as much as you want, but don't wreck if you want both drivers to make it to the next round of the playoffs, as we come on board the 32 Category 5 esports machine of Zach Hall, as he's under the
14 looking inside.
And Zach Hall,
I didn't shift there. I was experimenting, and he just pulled me big time off that turn.
observer, and also Mr. Robert Miller Jr. You can see
Try still left front.
Sora, the way that he's moving high, low, and defensive lines to try to cut off any kind of a
Short clear, not clear.
so that we have
Clear low.
Hall trying to attempt here this evening.
Yeah, that was a great camera angle that we had right there. You saw how the 32 in the middle of the corner was higher than the 51, but then he was able to turn to the left. Right here, he's doing the same move. He's expecting to get down to the yellow line a little bit sooner, and he's going to come out just a speck. Not able to do it right there like I was hoping. Sam, the previous lap, really Zach Hall got that exit really down and was able to make that work. But right now, it looks like he's back to the tire, following the tire marks in there, maybe trying to pull those tires off for another run. But when I've raced against Zach Hall one time, I'll never forget. First time I ever raced against him, exhibition race. Just he was doing the broadcasting for Freaky Fast. He got in there, did the exhibition race. He started 16th, and it was like lap 30, and he drove to the lead. And I was like, what in the world just happened? And he went on to win by about 7 seconds. And that's when I was like, this guy knows what he's doing at Richmond.
He certainly does, and he will continue to try to build his own path. Updates for drivers further on back. Again, Drew Jua still 1 lap down for himself. Other competitors that are trying to make it into the playoffs. Aaron Smith II, who, with the lack of points grab, he still has a chance to point his way in, but has to make sure that he is 8 points ahead of Brian P. Johnson, as Johnson currently runs in 6th place, and Aaron Smith II's back in 20th. We also climb back up.
Leader's last lap was 22.83, yours is 23.12.
Must-win scenario for the 16 machine.
Slow.
John Forbes Jr., he can still point his way in, but his gap is now 9 points to Brian P. Johnson, but John Forbes is in 12th place. All other contenders that are hunting for a playoffs are in our top 7, and they continue to show some great pace for themselves this evening. The scattering of some, the like you said, you kind of seeing the cream filter to the top. It is one of the races that we're seeing these drivers, those that put in the practice and the time, they're showing out with their...
I made a change to the setup that they had.
And they just have the...
I wonder if that made it worse.
I think that's something we'll try and get some camera work later on. Maybe it's just if we can see that red glowing on some of these tires.
It worked pretty good in practice, but right here it seems like the front's just pushing too much.
Without hammering brakes,
Plus it's also nighttime.
There's
Difference.
sometimes it's
Yeah, I was just absolutely just going to say.
how it works with the iRacing. I think the 70 actually kissed the wall. I saw little sparks, but not seeing the
So if that's the
I've
case,
seen it on some drivers. So it kind of just gives you that indication.
I need to do...
Who's got that a little bit more front tire bias dialed in, others that might have a little bit more rear brake inputs for themselves, but this race is going to continue to go on here this evening. We're on lap 70, 27 laps into this run, and the fuel window we were given was 125 laps to 127.
I don't think that makes any difference.
Saving maybe 130 laps. So these drivers, we're looking to be, if we stay green, about 10 to 15 laps shy for making it to the end of this race. Curious, we've seen this the last 2 weeks of these races turning into fuel mileage runs of drivers trying to save fuel.
How many laps am I off?
A run that we've seen.
Can I go 5th and just save fuel and make it?
Let me see. You have 99 in the.
If it being 15 laps.
You've got 99 in the tank. You're off by about.
Attempt to up their pace and aim for that, or is everyone?
Oh, I'm off by a lot, ain't I?
Until we run out with those 20 and 15 laps to go.
Yeah, you are.
And then we'll pit, or maybe we'll pit halfway through this run.
I'm saying this from the heart.
One going up high.
I really think someone will do it, and I'm not saying it to try and make this sound exciting. The reason why
Something happened right there with the tires that affected me and him at the same time.
Preferred to be in 5th gear, and the amount of fuel extra that I had over other drivers at the end of the runs just seemed like it was about anywhere from.
Let's see what I saved running 5th.
Was with me out, not even trying to save fuel. I think of a driver.
The broadcaster's talking about it right now.
He came off the pit road right as they were going to green. I think he went in to top off.
I got to relearn how to drive it.
About an extra 2 laps of fuel right there. And if he's running in 5th gear, and if he's saving fuel, he might be thinking I'm going to.
You might.
And drivers who know that they can't make
save fuel, but you're losing a lot of track position.
Down, not sure when they will.
Yeah.
But they'll want to get those fresh tires.
I still can't make it, can I?
Go into 10 laps to go. They'd rather get the fresh tires.
No.
Utilize that.
That part of 104. No.
It's going to be the big talking point as this run progresses on. We're still not even halfway, but single file, it's just survival mode. It's kicked in as drivers know this race.
Yeah, but is it enough?
Up once those green flag pit stops happen. But for us up in the booth, I think we're going to take our first commercial break of the evening. I want to say thank you so much to everyone that's joining with us here this evening to watch the WSSR Cup Series on your Wednesday night. It's the playoff cutoff race.
I went back to shifting, Derek.
To figure out our championship 6 that will race for a championship for these next 2 races. But tonight's race, such a special one.
I was about to get past.
Never forget, as we honor the Tunnel to Towers Foundation 180.
But if I can make it,
we'll be back right after this.
even if I save 2 laps, that'll beat all these other people. Don't matter on where I'm at on track.
Yeah, but if you get lapped, it will.
Not if he pits. Caution comes out on
Robert,
screen.
you'd have to be somewhat close to him when he went down pit road, and then go all the way back around, and then still try to hold him off on really, really old tires.
Yeah, it's gonna get even tougher to drive. So yellow will most likely come out, I would imagine.
Yeah.
But I ain't going nowhere though. 4th gear, I can't advance. That's why I'm thinking it's alternate strategy.
It is single file all the way up to the leaders. Leader right now is at the exit of 1. I'm sorry, exit of 2 rather. My wife's calling. I'll be right back.
All right.
The leader just did a 23.131.
Yeah, I ain't going forward shifting. I think I want to do fuel strategy here. Plus, I'm holding my own in 5th. Can't do that.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the WSSR Cup Series on a Wednesday night on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. My name is Sam Dyer. With me up in the booth is Justin Malarkey, and running productions as well is going to be Robert Moyer Jr. Tonight's action is the last race of the round of 11. After tonight, we will be down to our 6 drivers that will have a 2-race shootout to see who will win the championship for Season 9. Majority of those 6 drivers that look to be the favorites to move on to the next rounds are currently up front having a spectacular day. Cedric Hunter, the only driver that was automatically locked in after his win last week at Charlotte. But we've seen Gavin Rogers up front. Zach Hall also battling for second currently. Ryan Kelly and Brian P. Johnson having great runs for themselves. With the driver that's been dominating and currently is trying to lead the most laps to get that bonus point.
10-4.
Leads the next 5 to 6 laps. Vincent Sora will then have the most laps led and a lap led bonus point on top of winning the stage. Vinny is feeling very confident and comfortable up front at this time. But the drivers that are now in a very much, we might be in a must-win scenario, is John.
Oh yeah, if I lift on the front stretch, I'll make it.
John Ford Jr. and Aaron Smith II. It is a complete nightmare for all those drivers because
don't lose any time either.
Get stage bonus points, got them, and Justin.
That's right there.
82 to go. You have 91.
They're outside the top 10.
No, what am I saying? 92 to go.
Runs in 5th.
It'll be close.
Larry Yingling, he's having a great quiet night right there in 5th spot. We haven't talked much about him, but I'd expect to see him probably be up there in that top 2 eventually before this night ends. But yeah, as you mentioned, Josh Canada, he's got to definitely get up there. He's in 13th right now. And we saw him.
Yeah, I rode the apron that entire turn.
We got a car.
Work our way upside.
Just trying to get out of the way.
You are clear.
Let's go by. That looks like it's the 4. We talked to him. Justin Ford right there, going to run really high. Just trying to get these laps under him. You know, he's one of our newer drivers, just doing a great job pulling over there, Sam, not risking getting caught up with anyone.
Yeah, just trying to stay out of the way, and that's what he's been doing for most of this race after kind of losing touch to the field early in this run as we are crossing over to halfway here tonight. It is, it's kind of your regular Richmond race, I would say here, Justin. It's a racetrack that either we have a caution fest or we get a long green flag run where the drama kind of ramps up at pit stop time as halfway is up. Also want to give a shout out to our
leader is a half lap ahead. His last lap was a 23:31. Yours 23:43.
Is he still shifting?
So helping drivers dispute when there are penalties.
Check him now.
Sorry, man.
As this field continues to stay green, I think it's going to turn into one of those races of can we continue to keep?
We might have a chance then.
Run as one driver having trouble around our leader. It looked to be the 98 machine of Ben Keeney as he was getting close to some of our top runners. Actually makes contact with our leader of Vincent Sora the lap prior, which now gives Zach Hall a chance. And once again, just like Indianapolis, a lap car giving Zach Hall a chance to get to the back bumper.
He's got to run. He's going to try and maybe poke below him. Not going to do it. Going to actually enter this corner higher. We expect to see him cut the car down into the middle of the corner if the tires still have to go.
He is only in 5th from the start stripe to the entrance of 1. Everywhere else, he's in 4th.
So we had a moment.
Did Aaron take tires?
That 3 car, we know how good he is on the long runs. We always think, is he?
Oh, wait a minute. He started way back there, but he's about to blow my doors off.
2 laps into the run, he really has the tires saved, and the competition for him starts to heat up. And
Aaron was last on pit road, lap 45.
Right there, Ryan Kelly running down to 32.
I bet he's got enough fuel.
But don't look too far behind because Gavin Rogers is coming, and I know we spoke.
See if Aaron is shifting.
But Sam, I gotta tell you, Nick Crawford.
That was right in my mind.
He certainly is. He's been skewed and patient. Also, the incident between Vincent Sora and looking at Ben Keeney, that contact was Vincent Sora drifting up into the left car.
Yeah, he went in and refueled.
But this race, we talked about at the top of the broadcast, there was going to be change. And
Caution don't come out. You might be looking at the window behind us.
it's starting to cool off just slightly here as the air temperature is 74 degrees Fahrenheit.
Because he's got better tires than I do.
It was up to 87 at one moment during
Only by 2 laps. He's staying in 50.
degrees. The wind's not too harsh.
I mean, he's
too bad either.
driving faster right now.
Stages of the nighttime conditions, and we're only halfway through this race. There could still be that transitional change later on, but
Yeah, but you also have the tight air from 2 cars in front of you. He's just got you.
that is now Christopher Norris and Brian P. Johnson. They get for a ski side by side, battling for 8th place position.
Battling for 8th place position, 38-28, trying to see who's going to get around. 38. For Norris, he's got that preferred exit on the outside. He's going to be able to clear
98, clear up top.
and then a battle in front. And
Aaron staying right with you. Now looking inside.
low in there. So track's starting to get a little darker, and we talked about it before. The brakes
Clear.
a little bit gives us that little idea. But the battle that happened in front, Nick Crawford, we just talked about him. He actually lost a spot. The driver moving up around.
Should I reckon?
That's Nick Crawford getting passed by Cedric Hunter. And that's our guy that won last week.
I'll send him a message for you if you do.
Back.
Cedric's been an interesting driver to watch, even from the start of the race. Well, after our first caution, back on lap 5, we had the restart on lap 10. Cedric Hunter was back in like 16th, 17th position, and he's been slowly,
The
methodically
14, 2 cars up, that's been around you all night long. He's shifting.
on his way forward as much as he wants. And at this time, I would say Cedric Hunter is
I think the shifter's going to run out of fuel.
the big thing that helps a driver at a racetrack like Richmond. Consistency is the key to make sure that you're always moving forward.
And you can see, even though he's got those pink wheels, we're able to see a little bit of that glow that our producer was able to pull up on camera. So, but
I would be a touch faster if I didn't have to lift
he's
so early going into 1.
You see a little bit more brightness in the front, but he's got the car hooked up, and he's not going to be behind Larry Ealing for long. I feel he might be able to drive right around him at the rate he's going. As you see right here, going to enter turn 1. That's about a 3-car length gap. We're on board right here with a 13 Hello Kitty car. Just sounds.
Aaron's using 4th gear when passing
That's an indication.
and then going back to 5th gear.
Good. Gets on the
Smart.
brakes. I don't hear anything violent happening. I don't hear shifting really either, Sam.
Yeah, and I think the big thing also is we're not hearing a lot of flirting with the throttle pedal. It's just smooth in, smooth out on what we're looking for. And you can see Cedric Hunter, 4th gear, going to be primarily for most of the track. And then it's once you hit the start-finish line that you shift up and then shift back down immediately into turn 1. It's very quick that some of these drivers deal with. And for some, they actually will, if they don't get a good run off the exit of turn 4, they'll just stay in 4th. Sometimes the quick shift up isn't worth it. And there's the quick shift up to 5th. And then right as they enter into the corner, right back down to 4th. And for Cedric,
Hold on, wait. 7 gave you a little bit of a tap. You're good.
but as this run progresses,
He's outside.
the question is it helping your tires with have a little bit of extra torque with being on a lower gear? Or is it going to be something where all drivers
2 right rear.
later in a run where it doesn't matter what gear you're in at that point?
That's some great feedback. Yeah,
At your door.
about 2 seconds only in 5th gear, so we didn't hear them mad shifting because we had it right on board. That whole
Bottom sucks.
Clear up.
heard them shift at the end of the front straightaway.
Yeah, it does.
Like you said, are
2
you,
back outside.
or Sam, also, is it helping slow the car down with that 4th gear?
Clear.
Maybe just kind of getting the car wound up a little bit more too, so maybe it pays the price on the exit, but maybe it helps save some of the tire getting into the corner.
77 now outside.
Which makes racing so fun is you can run
Yeah, that's how you do it. 77.
Hey,
Oh, he's
clear
on.
behind him.
each way.
He's on better tires though. Never mind.
Certainly can, as Brian P. Johnson
Watch the apron, bud.
in
You're
the
good.
wrong direction. The 28 machine, who got some massive points for himself, has to be careful.
That's all good.
Johnson has currently fallen back to the clutches of drivers that are outside of the cut line of John Forbes. Joshua Kanata, 11th, 12th position, could be falling back to 13th is Johnson. And he does not have a full safety net secure that he is going to make it to the next round. Johnson only has a 8-point buffer over Aaron Smith II, only a 9-point buffer over John Forbes. Larry Yingling is going to be trying his best to catch up, but that's an 11 points difference between Larry Yingling and Brian B. Johnson. So Johnson at this point, his big competitor to watch out for would be Larry Yingling. And if you're Johnson, you cannot fall outside of 17th position. Otherwise, you could be in trouble here.
And that's just really scary for him because right now he's in 15th spot and it does not seem like the car is handling it all. And you have to wonder, what is he going to do? He's going to have these 14 GTRs, Ari, Jujua, we know is not on the lead lap, but it's just going to be presenting problems for the Brian P. Johnson. And we know he's a fast driver. He was running up in 3rd spot not too long ago. We talked about him challenging Zach Hall and maybe getting in 2nd. And right now he's about to be 3 wide on this front straightaway. This is not what he wants to see.
No, it's not. And GT Azari is someone that you got to be careful with because you got to remember he got pushed around earlier by Drew Jua and a couple of other drivers trying to get around him, and John Forbes. They were muscling around this 14. And so for Brian P. Johnson, the driver you're concerned about is the 7 who just got underneath you. Now Larry Yingling is in a spot where you saw his competitors all around him, but in a blink of an eye, Brian P. Johnson is fading back to the clutches of that window that you cannot be in right now, back to 11th point difference. And we are now...
Should I just pull off if I get lapped?
Now for Larry Yingling and Brian P. Johnson.
No.
And that's another position you cannot afford to lose if you're this 28 machine.
Never.
I hate to be the one that has to suggest it, but you have to wonder if you're a fan of the 28, do you have to start wondering, does that driver, is he going to maybe come in and be the one that gets tires to try and gain back some of that time? I know the risk is going multiple.
Leader right now is going into 3. You're at the start stripe.
The pit, minus maybe 1 or 2 guys who potentially stayed out and conserve fuel. So you go in and get those early tires now, Sam. I mean, we have under 70 to go, so you go and get that fresh rubber if you know everyone else is going to pit.
Or is this maybe a thought of this is a window where you realize, wait, I can make it on fuel if I extreme safe from here on out? And maybe that's been the call from Johnson, is the fact of how quick he dropped from being inside of our top 4 to now all the way down here in 17th. And he was running very close laps to our leader and now is a full half second off of Zach Hall. This could be a strategy call, but he's in 4th gear, so it's a hard talk, but
All right, clear.
figure out if it's a complete handling failure.
Fighting back now on the outside. Got a big run up off. Holy cow.
Down to
He's
19th.
using 4th.
If this race ends,
That's that 4th gear. Yep.
Johnson would not race for a championship.
Clear up.
He would be eliminated before the round of 6.
I am not able to figure it out. Like you said, why would he be down in 4th gear if he's trying to save fuel? But why did he drop off the pace so fast? We haven't seen other cars really drop off like that, unless he just was really, really pushing so hard and didn't realize how much he was burning up the car. But I have to wonder, what is he going to be thinking right now? He has to be very cautious, like you said, of where Larry Yingling is on track. And right now, Larry Yingling 6th spot. And like you said, this race ends. That's not going to be good for Brian P. Johnson. He's not going to be able to advance. And he's been a driver who's just so fast each week.
Each and every week, you got to be closer and closer. Looking at other drivers also of note, it's just a 4-position difference between John Forbes and Larry Yingling at points after that stage was over, and enabling, bringing in stage bonus points where drivers are now. Larry Yingling, John Forbes could gain a couple of more spots.
I got a gnat flying in front of my face.
To actually jump over Yingling and Brian P. Johnson steal that spot. So John Forbes also isn't completely out of the championship hopes now based on where Johnson runs currently.
No, and the 11 is fast. We know he's fast. We think he can definitely gain more positions. He just had that issue in the beginning of the race where he was kind of just punted up into the wall. As you see a driver right there on pit road. But John Forbes, he can potentially definitely get back inside the top 6 or 7. He's only about 4 seconds away from 7th position, so if the car
Leaders at the start stripe.
and continue to get fast as this run goes on, he could advance 3 or 4 more positions before this race ends.
Again, it's just a 4-spot difference.
His last lap was 23.57. Yours was the 68.
And that is only about a second and a half off of where these drivers are at currently. A couple of passes.
Only about a 10.
Up front, you saw the Cedric Hunter pass over Gavin Rogers. The battle for second place is currently raging on, where Ryan Kelly and Zach Hall are swapping back and forth. And currently Ryan Kelly will be in that second place position. You noted on a driver pitting, that was Justin Forbes, who made his pit stop for the Ford machine. Another driver that pitted earlier was 07 Ryan Noel, getting a little bit of service done. And first driver inside of our top 10, Nick Crawford, has now just entered pit road.
So this opens it up. Drivers are going to be, there's 60 to go. So that's when they decide to pit. Is anyone else going to pull it in? Zach Hall, is he going to slow it down?
Ryan P. Johnson has pitted. He was not stretching. That was a complete mechanical failure on tires. Johnson has to hit pit road now. This has gone from bad to worse, but he has to go with the early pit stop to recover some of this time that he's given up.
In time, he will be recovering. He will be definitely a good second faster, 1.5 seconds faster potentially. He will make up a ton of time, but how much will he hurt later on in this run? We saw the car kind of just fall off instantly. But you have to start wondering, when will other drivers pit? How much time are they going to give?
John Forbes. Well, that ain't Junior.
Or are some drivers out here thinking that they can make it further? This is going to be a fun part in this race where we have to really
disconnected
for this.
Ryan P. Johnson went from this race. It just might be your top 6 moving on toward championship 6, and in a blink of an eye, it is now turned upside down.
You've been quicker than the 2 every lap over the last 5.
With the early pit
He's holding you up.
the demise of our season 1 champ in the WSSR from having a chance to race for another attempt at a championship. Or could it be someone else trying to steal that away? Larry Yingling runs in 5th place. John Forbes now up to 9th. And Aaron Smith the second, another driver of focus. Again, he was only 1 point off entering tonight. He's now officially 8 points behind our going to be Brian P. Johnson. He's catching up to John Forbes. Those are not going to be the 2 drivers that race it out to maybe steal those points late. As seeing the 70 machine, watching his teammate Drew Jua trying to work the outside lane as Joshua Kanata has a slip up and holds back the Lucky Ducks machines.
If you are a fan of the Brian P. Johnson machine, you have to be praying right now. You do not want to caution when you see those cars get sideways like that. You're hoping to correct it and save. Right,
you're still about 2 laps short, Brian.
Yeah. I went back to fuel saving. I can't fuel saving past this guy.
Go on fuel. We saw him do it at Darlington not too long ago. Is that why he was topping off, or did he have damage? I just not sure exactly what he was doing on pit road coming to the 1 to green. But right now, he might be the one driver who might be trying to stretch this race.
Could he stretch it out long enough? And Aaron Smith has been kind of the clutch when you look at the speed late in fuel saving runs. He's been one of the fastest drivers late at Darlington when that race looked like it was coming down to a fuel mileage run. Last week he topped off and is absolutely
74 looking inside.
The field were able to save fuel and make it to the end, but I
don't think he's going to be too patient with that too.
This 70 machine might have to be 3 races in a row where it comes down to strategy. But at Richmond, you know there's always a chance. It's always looming in the background of a late caution, a driver self-spinning, someone getting a little bit too aggressive. The complete change of the closing rate for some of the drivers that just took tires and how close they're going to be closing in on the drivers that are on older tires.
There's a good chance that there was a bit of caution here. One of those new tires will wreck somebody.
And we're coming down to our final 50 laps to go. This is the drama time that we've been waiting for.
Definitely possible. Careful getting on those brakes when you get up on the bumper of the 2. Don't want the back end to step out. I'm not quite sure where you have the brake bias.
Johnson's decision to pit this early.
So many factors, like you mentioned. That's what makes it really fun here at Richmond.
Sorry, Pete, I did not understand that.
We didn't even get to touch on is the leader. He's going to be in like lap.
No, I'm just saying when you're getting close to the 2 and you're having to hit the brake, it's because he's checking you up.
Tom Moore.
I just don't want the back end to step out. I wasn't quite sure where you have the brake bias.
Right here out front.
Oh, I got you.
Doesn't have a clear track, so you have to wonder, is he maybe going to drive as hard as he can until he gets to those lap cars and then go in and get those fresh tires? So you see right here, it looks like Shane's going to enter the pits.
I'm basically using the left rear to chase the rear into the turn.
They're on pit road.
That's where my brake bias is at.
Gotcha. You have to think he's going to hit pit road as soon as he sees Ryan.
I'm driving the rear of the car on entry.
Next lap, and then he'll be able to save that lead and still have the tire advantage.
Yeah, the next lap and the lap after, it's about a 1.5 second difference on pace. So you with a 3 second gap, you've got a little bit of wiggle room to work with if you make that decision.
So yeah, you're right. If I have to hit the brake.
Before or after the driver behind you, as the field continues to race on, still.
Yeah, what do? I ain't got gas to make it.
Still need to pit before this race.
There's 3 of them in front of them.
Fuel-wise, yeah, the fuel window we were given was
that leader's gonna have to pit.
5 laps to 127 laps. Curious if the way
I may not get a win. Aaron has definitely got me beat.
He was not saving earlier.
But if fuel is just the limit you're looking at, these drivers can still go for another
I have to save fuel here.
It's going to be a 15-lap window before this race is over that we're expecting.
Well, actually, looks like
to be cut off
47.6 in.
further than that, but 15 laps to go is when you can stretch.
Yeah, I think you're actually right at the number right now.
Someone's making that gamble of staying.
Yeah, but I have
As
to
long as there's no
live.
green, white checker.
Justin, the question is, who's willing to be that driver to do so?
I think drivers that know that they don't have a chance to advance, they have to do it.
28 looking inside.
As long as they can and just
Clear.
for caution. We'll pray that they're able to save enough and somehow.
That's
Oh,
close.
he's not
That's
gonna-
close.
Yeah,
I mean, just
Real close.
he was not going to be friendly with that too.
or Joshua Kanata. We don't know exactly. Maybe no one else pits. Maybe Brian P. Johnson might be the only guy.
26 inside.
Will he be
Clear.
fast and run these drivers down on those?
How's there not going to be a wreck after we're witnessing what's happening in front of us right here?
He was on pit road during the
Right.
time of us talking
Right.
here. He's back in 19th, and he was extremely fast. So that has to kind of be on Vissasora's mind. If Nick Crawford's out here and runs about 10 laps on new tires, he might gain 15 seconds. He was only 8 seconds back.
I think those guys that took tires, they might be
For some of these drivers,
sitting all right.
continue to tick away.
They got to get
So you will be the next driver to
They do got to get their lap back though. They are a full lap down.
want to do so currently. Saw Nick Crawford, the absolute blistering difference in pace between the 74 and the rest of the lead pack group and what their tires are at. A couple of other
07 down low.
Of course, here we see drivers that took tires.
Still there.
Seka, actually going a lap down.
Clear.
Excuse me, it's the 24 as he's being passed by Cedric Hunter, but
See if he can. If he opens up a hole, see if he can fill it.
chipping away and catching up to Zach Hall. It's been just a couple of hundredths of
Problem
There
is
you
his
go.
bottom side sucks.
another.
Two outside.
Oh, he had to lift big time.
Runner Cedric Hunter, but
You're clear.
Little Kitty is slowly chipping away. He's catching up.
That's why you were getting so close to hitting him in the rear end before.
This
He's lifting a lot.
knowing, hey, I won the strategy race last week.
Or if he switched to fuel mode.
I've got pure speed to compete with the other competitors that I'll most likely be challenging for the championship these next 2 weeks.
He definitely has.
Hold on, wait. Hold on, wait.
But
You're okay.
Sam, it's also
Derek.
seems to always have speed.
Too early. Too early, Derek.
13 is sometimes he doesn't get that exact qualifying effort, and it seems like he gets caught.
Oh my goodness.
It really isn't his fault. I feel like he's one of those drivers that just seems to somehow be around the accident that happened.
I don't know why I did that.
And kind of ruins his day or puts him in a puts him
10-4.
in a pickle. But when he doesn't have a problem, he seems always running inside that top 5. You see the 74, Nick Crawford just fly by. That's how fast the tire
Choose.
has to make you wonder.
Yep, hitting.
Crawford, could he be leading this race once the top 5 pit, if they pit?
I don't know if he'll be leading. He's still one lap down and trying to run down drivers that are on the lead lap. But I think once the pit cycle's through, he could be that factor, but he's been out there on service for so long. The difference on tires is going to be huge as pit road is calling for Zach Hall. Cedric Hunter, Snowy Desert Racing, going to make the decision to hit pit road. Danny Cochran also deciding to pit before going a lap down.
Leaders at the stripe right now.
Most of Snowy Desert Racing, besides Nick Crawford, pitting here with 40 laps to go in tonight's race.
Pitting with 40 to go, so that's going to be their call now. It's going to be, when does Vincent Sora counter? If he does, you would imagine he's going to probably do it this lap. He doesn't want to give up too much time to Zach Paul, but Brian Kelly, he's still out there. No, Brian Kelly's in the pits now. Larry Ewing's out. Larry Ewing, is he going to try and lead a little?
Yeah, all them shifters going to pit.
Let's see. 51 is slowing down. Will Larry Ewing stay out there?
Oh, so many people sideways though.
Ewing is on the backstretch as Vincent.
I wonder if that's people with tires going down.
Larry Ewing
The ones that are shifted.
stay out. Bonus point.
Nah, these things got too much
bonus point.
tread on them. Never mind.
System to make this difference a little bit closer.
I bet they're only like 70 right
Now
now.
the question for Yingling is, does he continue to lead this race, or will he fall and give it to someone else that might need it? John Force Jr. also continues to stay out on track, as officially Vincent Sora has led the most laps. So he does
Outside. Still there, right rear.
that bonus, another extra bonus point for the 51, as Brian B. Johnson marches his way forward.
Clear up.
This is the pass to get him back onto the lead lap.
Back on that lead lap.
Johnson got his lead lap.
67 got his lap, which is also
huge.
important. Both of those drivers are battling to be one had advances, and they both are on different agendas. If we're right here, we're riding on board. Look at the front brake glow. Don't see any rear brake. So that might be an indication utilizing heavy front brake for the 67. Is that going to be the one that gets
38 on your bumper, 14 outside.
Stay out. He might just be hoping for the caution to come out.
And cautions could be coming.
38's going to go outside. Now 14 outside also.
I don't know if we can
We're
bring
going to be 3 wide, 3 right now. Stay low.
if they have changed.
14 now outside.
As we see the weather temps,
Clear up.
I think they're the same as they were.
Did that 38 just
back
blow our
outside.
doors on the outside?
But Justin.
Or is that new tires?
Yes, he did. He's on brand spanking new tires.
Oh, okay. That makes a lot more sense. I was like, how the hell did that just
14
happen?
with a run.
He's
Still shifting.
That is something that could happen to some of these front contenders.
Clear up.
Is the fact that cold tires could send you off into overcorrecting into the outside wall and ruin your race.
And then if we have the caution, some of these drivers, they are going to be
All right, but you're up to P6.
drivers that chose to pit later, like Vincent Sora and stuff. I see right here, it looks like Nick Crawford, he's in 11th position, so he'd be screaming for a caution. He can go and get his fresh rubber and have track position. That would, he would be a huge win for him. Gavin Rogers, he's in the pits right now. But these drivers then that stayed out, Larry Yingling, Ken Campbell, those drivers, they would all be going in to get tires for sure.
Yeah, I just saw that, Derek.
They would also be going in, but you're talking about Vincent Sora being potentially back
There's one on the road.
in position as of right now if the caution was to come out.
Gavin Rogers going to get serviced.
Oh, that changes it.
Caution.
He's leaving pit road now, and he's falling outside the top 20. And oh, it's John Forbes right in front of Lucky Duck's contact. The limit goes around. Yellow flag is out. That's the drama we were waiting for.
Oh my God.
Yeah, in 5th. Going in and getting brand new tires.
That broadcaster's voice when he gets excited is ridiculous.
Again, spun around and required damage for the 11.
Required damage.
So give me just a splash of fuel.
Two
All right, bud.
times.
Say
The incident right here.
Yep.
a gallon.
Corner. This
Gallon,
All
4
the way
tires.
down. Yep.
All right.
Yep. 1.8.
And it's one of those incidences where Forbes just try to get a little bit too much, loses the rear
Giving
end,
you your spotter back.
locks it down for a quick moment, overcorrects, gets clipped by Douglas Newbigging, and with oncoming traffic, the yellow flag is thrown, and this
R is going to be light.
is reset. And for John Forbes
Right
Jr.,
here.
if he didn't get required damage with the contact, that caution actually would have helped him. Instead, he's forced to pit road. He will most likely be the end of the line with the damage repair he has, but this goes perfectly for some of those drivers we were talking about that were
All right,
going
that's
to
it. Go.
stretch it
All
out.
right, come. Don't speed.
And those drivers being outside of our cut line, this is that magical caution you were
Line
hoping
up,
for.
single file.
The only issue
Look at this, right where you qualified. What a coinky dink.
lap, when that caution flag came out and they've got fresh rubber, they will still be up front on this restart. But for Larry Yingling, Aaron Smith II, for Joshua Kanata, they're back into the mix.
So Vincent Sora, Zach Hall, they choose to stay out. The other Yingling, he's going to be restarting 3rd position.
Now we got to go back to shift.
There's 30 laps to go. I think by the time the tires even begin to wear out, it'll be around lap 20. But how many laps are on Vincent Sora and Zach Hall? Zach Hall definitely has about 2 more laps. 9 and 7 laps were getting reported. So they're going to be heated up, those tires.
All right,
Yes,
so
I know.
2 or 3 laps. Will Larry Yingling be able to cruise by? Larry Yingling, does he have a chance to win this race? Or how about Ken Campbell starting?
Leader was on pit road lap 142. Zach Hall was down 140. Everybody else is 149.
Those that are in a must-win scenario, Aaron Smith II also up here in a position where they are all focusing on making sure they're ahead of Brian P. Johnson, who is going to be set back in 12th position. Johnson's the driver of note, but you look at some of the other drivers that got pushed further on back. Gavin Rogers, who entered tonight with the biggest bubble of help on his plate. He got a good point stay with the fact that he got 5 stage bonus points, so that gave him a 20-point buffer over Aaron Smith II. But that bonus isn't very helpful when you're pushed all the way back to 17th, where a lot of the chaos has been looking to mount up, especially late in these races, and it's going to be less.
All right, you're going to restart on the inside. Actually going to be P7.
It is not safe.
Those guys complaining, they're only 9 laps down. That ain't that bad.
Safety is where he wants to be, is up front, but not back there. He was just on.
I think they're sitting pretty good.
I mean, you talk about the ultimate anger right there, but
I don't know.
He's fast. We expect to see him probably move up here in these final 28 laps, but
They definitely got the new off the tires.
really aggressive. I would imagine Ken Campbell's sitting there thinking, I could win this race. I got fresh rubber. Those guys in front of me, they have.
I just don't think it makes that much of a difference. I don't think we'll
If they get to racing, can he make a move?
hit any kind of drop-off point for the end of the race.
In turns 3 and 4, where it's a little bit wider.
We'll have a bunch of cautions right here.
All I heard was slurs and Kyle
All
Larson.
questions,
And that's all I
we
needed to hear.
83.77.
Eyes out on.
I just don't want to mess anybody's race up. The like playoff guys.
Seen up of who has got a chance to win here this evening, as still going to be trying to update the numbers when we can. It's a little difficult at this
Are you ready?
time
Go,
to
go, go.
get the numbers perfect on where the drivers are at, but looking at this field at the moment,
All right, 14 right rear.
all still wide open on who could be in or out. Cedric Hunter's the only one
Still there.
that he's good, as we are back to green flag action. Coming up to third, going to be 27 laps to go here tonight for the Tunnel to Towers Foundation.
14's loose. Stay low. There you go.
Looking good on this restart with the fresher tires. Going to be Larry Yingling behind him. Yingling wanting to get up front. Winner of the first time they ever ran at this race back in season 2.
14 clear.
Wants that lead position,
Told you.
Caution's out.
but Vincent's
Them caution is going to be here.
Good job. Way to keep your spot.
he was the one that was in victory lane. As they go down into turn number 1, it's still single filing.
Looks like Josh Canada, Jorge Fonseca, and Ben Kinney.
All together here up the exit of turn 2.
67, though, he's got a
Oh, they racing back
Here's
there.
what happened to Canada, because he was racing.
Kanata in the middle of the field. Multiple drivers trying to scatter around him, but caution flag is out.
16, Canada. We're going to get this replay here shortly.
No longer live.
Canada was just right behind you.
Shoot.
He just lost it on his own. And that is such a frustrating moment in time.
There we go.
As other drivers that came in, Ollie Fonseca, but there it is, snapping loose, tries to save it, overcorrects, snaps.
Wow, on the
in,
straightaway.
and he's gone. And Ollie, nowhere to go.
Yeah.
No.
He could just, there's just nowhere for him to go.
Innocent victim caught up.
Wow.
With the 16, I think he just planted that gas pedal down coming out of the corner, and just his rear tires took off. I think it's a product of the cold temps too. You're going to get it right here. Look at that. You can hear it. Corrects once to the left, once to the right. Just not able to save it, and then the impact here is really what does him in.
Just fighting for
Derek's 100% right. And that 14 and 16 have been aggressive.
just was not there. As Joshua Kanata, who was in a must-win scenario with the way that the stage points were gifted out, is looking like his
16?
night could be
Who
over.
is that?
Chance for a
24 to go, sir.
And for Joshua Kanata, he came into tonight and into
The 16 Kanata.
feeling like the underdog in every round he'd entered last season.
Oh, he was the one that was in the wreck. Okay.
Final 6 for a chance to race for that championship, and he knew he was running with some of the top dogs of the league, and he was just proud that he made it to that round. I think for Kanata, he can keep his head high on the fact that he made it to the round of 11. But he, again, must-win scenario for Kanata. He's got a lot of work if he wants to get it done. It might need a little bit of luck, if possible, here tonight, because as these laps tick away, you're going to need almost a complete catastrophic failure from...
You know Aaron's going to be aggressive, so if he opens up any holes, try to follow through.
You never know. Sometimes these races get crazy on these restarts, but we would have to expect that there's going to be some level of give and take from some of these drivers out there.
I think he's in right
Have
now.
some respect, not going to run over each other here with an elimination.
Yeah, he's in.
But you do not know. So if you're the 16, you got to just try and get out there, get on the lead lap, and at least salvage a finish. You don't know what can happen.
I think.
As the field gets ready for this restart.
Because he's only got 3 of them in front of him.
Driver that's really in the weird spot.
And he was right on the line.
Calamity and positions being gained. Johnson is right where he needs to be.
So I don't think he has to advance.
Some of the points so far that we have on drivers, and
Who would be going for it? Brian Johnson. He's going to be aggressive.
Point advantage.
Ron Kelly.
Johnson for the
That's my
rest of this
teammate.
race with
Gavin
Larry
Rogers is
grabbing
back there.
that bonus point for leading a lap.
I don't remember who else.
Just that close, just 9 points. 11 points going to be the difference for those drivers. I'm looking at where Johnson's at.
Shane Therian's still on pit road.
12th or 13th. Or Yingling.
No, I'm not in
Just now
playoffs.
leaving.
Points. Otherwise, you got to win this thing if you're one of those drivers outside looking in.
winning all these cures, everything makes it easy.
Just wreck everybody in front of me and then
Get that W.
take all the penalties
Right now on this restart,
and the suspension.
he's thinking I could get this win.
Oh, man.
To be stressed about.
Wouldn't that suck if I had like brake failure and I actually did it?
He's gonna be restarting on the outside. Will he be able to pinch the 51
After saying it on stream, yeah.
I know. That'd be my luck. My brake pedal just stopped working.
He stayed out thinking that there would be a caution, and there was one at Darlington. The veteran knows that cautions loom when you get drivers out there on mixed tires.
All right. Ready.
It's prepared for this restart. Will it be the
Go.
or will we need a couple of more? 20 laps to go for tonight. The last race in the round of 11 to see who will make it to the championship.
You are 3 wide right now, 7 and 14. All right, back double. 7 up high, now 28.
Season as the field is
Hold your line.
flag action. It's Vincent Sora, Larry Yingling going to be the drivers up front. Great launch for the 51.
But between the 28 and the 14, now just the 14 outside.
Not able to hold.
Fonseca spun out, caution's out.
Further on back, drivers are wrecking. It's only Fonseca, and yellow flag is thrown.
There you see the 24 spinning down the back straightaway. Check the replay on what happened, but now we're going to be under 20 to go. About
A lot of
this
cautions.
race restarts, and you have to start wondering. Vincent Sawyer's getting a chance to cool those tires
Yeah.
off. Larry Yingling.
Because every time one of these cleans come out, them guys that are back there trying to get up here, that's their only chance.
Your move, you got a chance. As this Ben Keeney going around for a moment, but it was actually the 24 Ollie Fonseca, the driver we're going to focus on here on this restart as and we're trying to take off on the restart and off the exit of turn 2. It just went wrong for the 24 as they were getting going, and seeing these late cautions, it doesn't really help any of the drivers further up ahead, but it's one of those incidences that kind of throw away a chance for these drivers to gain spots further up, as we'll see the lap after this of drivers getting mixy. But honestly, looking at this field, Justin, this wreck really, I would say, it helps those drivers that are inside of our top 6 and hurts those that are outside of our top 6 coming into tonight.
And less laps just don't have the chance to get out there and make any moves. You see, that was the replay before, the 16 and a 24 getting into each other there, but then the 24 not having ability to get high enough. That next wreck there on the back straightaway. But yeah, Sam, when we get back to green,
Turn the laps down.
16 to go. You see John Forbes going to go in and get tires.
Race control, make it 1 to green.
Damage still. But if you aren't in a position right now,
there you go.
You can advance. I mean, what are your options?
What is this, like the 3rd pacing lap?
Ride the wall, hopefully, maybe. If that wasn't breaking the rules, I think that's the only thing you got at this point. Ross Chastain it, but I'm pretty sure that's a rule in there that you cannot do that.
And the lights are still on, too. Hopefully they go off this time.
Yeah, we ain't even got 2 to green.
Honestly, I think that's
I'm assuming we'll get 2 to green this time.
Unless Johnson gets caught up in a wreck, everyone's pretty sealed up with where they run at this moment. That you're going to need a little bit of luck and hope that mistakes happen from some of these front runners, as still waiting for the lights to turn off to give us the 1 to go. But I mean, Justin,
Yep, there you go.
Silly to say, but honestly, doing a Ross Chastain's all that some of these drivers might have.
And that they might have to get desperate, but like you said, not allowed, so we're not going to actually expect to see it, but you never know what people are thinking. But I'm thinking on this restart, Larry Yingling has to be feeling comfortable that he's going to be good in points, but you just don't know. You don't want to put yourself in a position to get clipped by someone behind you, and then before you know it, you're in the wall and your night's over. So yeah, you want to go for the win, but you also got to preserve your finish.
Well, the thing for Yingling is at this moment where drivers run, he's not in. He would have to win to get in, with Johnson currently running in 9th place. That is too many points that Johnson has picked up with, positions he's picked up. Yingling cannot point his way in. He needs Johnson to be outside of our top 12 to point his way in at any way.
2 more races after tonight. North Wilkesboro next week, and then Las Vegas.
Use a bumper, but this was an issue that we've talked about, I think, for like seasons on seasons.
Wonder what car they're going to do next season.
It was Robert and myself, Trevor and myself back in the day of seasons 5 and 6 of
I would
guys that
guess the trucks
outside of this loop. Sometimes they don't want to ruin a friendship by getting their elbows out and wrecking one
I don't
another,
like the trucks.
moving one another for a win. I don't know if we're going to see anyone be willing to make.
All right, bud. Pace car's off.
Want to fight for a championship.
In the restart zone now. Ready, ready, ready.
Yangling
Go, go, go.
might have to move Vincent Soar out of the way and get into victory lane. If you're Zach Hall, Vincent Soar, you know, just stay where you're at. You're racing
28 low.
If you're Aaron Smith II, you also have to get a
74 on your bumper.
But green flag
You're
is
okay. Hold your line.
final couple of laps before we see who our championship
74, duck down with the 28. Now 2 inside. Tom Born wreck. Caution's out.
Charge out of turn 2. Who will make the big move?
Oh, ain't nobody going nowhere.
Right on the bumper, got a wreck out back. I think it was a black silver car. Larry England going to try and make a move. We're going to stay green here.
Shoot, next one's gonna be a
Hop high.
4-lap shootout, ain't it?
Warren, caution flag is out.
No, the top side sucks.
06. Spun around.
What the hell was that one even
Yeah.
for?
One more caution comes out. It will be.
Race where we had a ton of green flag racing, had the one caution with the Forbes incident, and now we are getting multiple.
Yeah, that's right. Here's gonna be about 5 laps worth. So
If you're at 67,
we'll go back 173.
Yeah.
restarts left to get a chance to get around them.
I was hoping to change
Looks to be a self spin off the 06.
You're such an ass.
And just of everything he
That's awful.
had, try to keep it straight, but at the same moment, 06
There is
gets
no
it
way
done.
Benny does not win this
What
race.
a
Brian Kelly's back there.
and one of our picks,
Yeah,
Stop
I will
Born,
find
not
a
He
in.
needs to.
Yeah, he's a few behind you.
I know for most of Sky
He needs to get on up a couple spots.
So we'll have to reset, get prepared
He's
for
trying
another
to
week.
cancel it out, guys. Keep going.
As Shane Tarian falls back.
Keep an eye on him if I'm in a chance to
He was involved
not be in his way.
But up front, Vincent Sora, Larry England, Zach Hall, Ken Campbell. Back to what I was talking about before we went to the restart. I mean, Justin, friendships
Sorry, Kevin, I'm driving
over
with
racing
you
for a
right now.
championship.
So it looks like
It is that weird limit.
Tuesday night. The October 8th race at Sonoma will probably be
And you call a friend.
my last race,
Be able to
probably for that season. Cause I have a feeling I'm gonna end up being in a
Okay, this is
Airbnb or something like that for like 2 months.
races. Very aggressive.
I-
There's a point where there's aggressive and then there's
No problem.
respectful aggressiveness, especially on these types of cars on the short tracks. As real as the iRacing simulator is, it's just always hard on these short tracks to get a good feel
So
exactly.
last night was Charlotte, so the
Maybe slide
Nashville Fairgrounds next week, Bristol, Kansas, and Sonoma.
every single inch of that track and understand it through the steering
Give me
wheel
a
as much as you
few
could
more
probably in a
racks,
real
let
car,
me,
but still.
That
Get the
sucks.
wave
I want
around
to
and
be
then
there
we
for
can
Vegas.
fully
Drivers
race.
up the
I just don't know.
just slamming into them so hard you don't want to wreck your friends, and then you might not get invited to any other leagues with them. So it is a
Just
fine
remember,
line,
you
but I
can't
think
hit
these
anybody
drivers
if you want
have
to
had a
lead
long
off.
season together, and it's been pretty clean for the most
I
part.
haven't been near
But
anybody. I'm
I
so
don't
slow.
foresee some of these drivers up here kind of moving like
hate
you
this
said. I
track.
just
I
don't.
hate every
I haven't
track
seen
except
that.
for
Derek,
Talladega
since you're
and
out there in
Daytona.
chat each week, each race,
I want to
why don't you
by saying
step on up, bud?
get the win.
And looking at some of the drivers that are up front, again, some drivers able to get position.
That way you're looking at everything in real time versus
The green
stream.
flag pit stop caution that came out where we had over 10 drivers still out there on track at the time of the yellow with 40 laps to go, and
Oh, I'm sure you'd be
it
invited.
did change things up, and it gave a new breath of life for some of the drivers, such as Lucky Ducks. They were
Oh,
really looking dead out of water at moments during this race with the poor qualifying run, some pit strategy calls that put them really far back. But Aaron Smith
Unless you sound like Franny Drescher, if you know who that is.
he needs to get a win because Bradley Johnson runs in 8th place. Douglas Newbiggins moved up to 7th position for himself, but the driver of most shock,
I digress.
Sorry. I mean, at one moment we saw him get bullied out of the way of drivers trying to aim for just a top 10 finish. GT Rosari
about after
runs
that?
currently in 6th position as we're getting stacked up and ready to go green on this next restart.
Whoever
Back-to-back
has
weeks of
the,
GT
highest
Rosari
three
having
numbers
some
on the back
strong
of their
runs. He
credit
was really good at Atlanta too when we were discussing him, and
Autofast.
Charlotte last week. We thought maybe he was going to get it done there. At
Whoever
one point, we
social
talked
security
about the
numbers
newer paint scheme coming through. So right now, up in 6th spot, showing off that paint scheme again.
I just now got that joke.
Drivers are
You guys have that,
ready to go. It's been a fun one to call. Thank you so much to everyone that's
All right, buddy. Here we go.
that's been chatting
In the restart zone now. Ready, ready, ready. Go, go, go.
in the show. Hit us with the like button as well. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. We give you coverage 4 times a week, Monday through
Do
Thursday.
our clear up high.
to stay differently.
Whoa, hold on, wait.
Less than
Good
2
save. 74 is on you.
to go here tonight. A little bit of lane.
Well, you wanted to let the 3 go, maybe. There you go.
Careful with that move. He dropped down before he
I
crossed.
don't know what happened. I just had to go into save mode.
Penalty to look at after the race is over. But further,
Yeah, you got tapped on the backside.
Everybody's loose. Look at that.
more drivers dropping to the inside.
Well,
They're scattering almost 4
Yeah.
wide.
No, they're driving over their head now.
One, it's Vincent Sora and others, but is stuck in the middle of all that chaos was Brian P. Johnson.
Tires done got cold.
Back, GT Rozzari is almost spinning into the grass, but
All right, 7 to go.
just in this race,
9 left front.
this is a new breath for drivers that are outside looking in.
74 is with you.
The excitement, the insanity right here. It's under 7 to go.
Tires were really cold that
Still
time.
low.
Johnson, you drop back 10
One saving up high.
positions there.
You are clear.
Yingling, he's not able to get around this. So he has 6 to go. Will he get on the bump?
Chain still inside.
70 right here. He's trying to get around Ken Campbell. Move him up into a spot. Aaron Smith in the 4th. Douglas Newbiggie.
Wreck high, go low.
Okay, everybody's
There
bleeding
you go,
out for
good
me. I
job.
think I'm having
Smith
Caution's out.
sideways, Moosh pushing up. Ken Campbell, Ryan
Horse
Kelly
stroke.
goes through,
Cage Albert
and
toast.
now it's down to just Yingling.
Some green, white checkers.
Douglas
I'm not blinking,
Newbiggie
am I?
around.
Yebber.
Going on. I can't
No,
believe
I
the 70.
ain't trying to-
So Larry Ying in the 67 right now, he's running second.
Got a chance to.
And Ryan Kelly in the 3 is running 6th.
Then there's an accident.
I just cleared everybody out for Ryan Kelly. That's how we can look at that incident.
Check it, I would think, Sam. Douglas Newbiggie, I was about to say, we finally got a chance to talk to him in the top 5 and something
No,
happened.
that was just a racing deal there. I saw you, Drew.
And Douglas
and I tried
Newbiggie.
shoving
I went
Ollie
into
out
turn
the track,
1.
but I don't
But
think he
here's
does,
the
so
chaos
don't
that
know.
I think I got a bump from the guy behind me. Maybe that gave me more speed or something. Threw me off.
You did.
I just went into that turn way too
you got a little
fast.
bit-
Don't
punch.
forget
This
you
is
can
the
jump
one
3
that
through here.
spins out as he was getting by the Aaron Smith that spins in front of him or gets bumped around on the entry of the corner.
Oh, dang. Larry's at risk of losing it? No way.
But it's one of those wrecks where
Ryan, what are you
you
doing?
had it saved, but it was Douglas who saw an opportunity, a little bit of
He was like,
a little bit of clean air in front of him. Gasses up early, goes around, and we got to
he was like third or something, wasn't he?
And is saved by his teammates spinning around.
Yeah.
Right here, this
No, he was 6th.
hit 15.
I don't know why he went down pit road.
Not able to save it like you were saying. This is just it.
He must not have had enough gas.
So Douglas Newbiggie, he spun coming out of the corner, and then Ryan Kelly right into him. I mean, there was just so much going on.
And looking at the damage, Ryan Kelly entered into tonight. He was only good.
I completely threw it in turn 1,
4
so
points.
that went out the window.
Finished second at the stage, got +9. Kelly only has a 14-point advantage over Aaron Smith the second, and the 3 has required damage. He will be in pit road. Will he go a lap down? Because if Kelly goes a lap down,
3
that will solidify him in 22nd.
3 got required
okay.
damage.
I'm okay.
Smith the second runs in 16th.
He's out.
place.
Ow.
That is enough points to take out one of our favorite contenders. And Justin, guess what? We're in overtime.
We're in overtime, but you have to feel for Ryan Kelly. I mean,
That's why I came here. I came here for the drama.
The car was sitting in the middle of the track, and
I'm just the cameraman.
He was able to take off.
No.
Kelly stays on the lead lap. He's still alive in this race, but he's back in 21st position. Damaged 3 machine. He just needs 3 positions, and he will stay locked in.
Wow.
I actually have a really
Kelly
good
needs
camera
3.
pack for this track.
They're just points.
But that's
ahead
assuming-
of Aaron Smith. But then Yingling, if he wins,
There, you came here to watch pacing.
wow. I mean, but we have not.
I came here
be able to do
to
it.
kick butt
We're on these
and
races.
chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Has to make this move on this restart if he wants to advance. He cannot linger back. He's got to go.
Probably don't know what movie that was from either, do you?
waiting for the lights.
I do. I'm trying to think of the
So
name.
we're going on that next.
Was it They Live?
We are officially in.
Called Them with Rowdy Roddy
Them.
Piper.
If needed,
What?
if this is your first time watching an
Yep.
overtime attempt on iRacing.
Yep.
It's a simple green-white checkered. It will be 2 laps to go when we go green. If we complete that first lap without a caution flag being thrown, the race will be
I've seen it.
official once
Not-
we take the white flag. And it's
I don't know if I've seen the whole movie.
first.
I've seen the clip
If we
of what you're talking about.
caution, and a wreck happens on that first lap, and iRacing throws a yellow.
Probably the one I saw on Facebook, I think it was like yesterday, the day before, where he walks into a bank with a shotgun with a pair of glasses on. You can only see the aliens with those glasses.
And under yellow, but up front, it's Vincent.
What was the name you called in the movie?
Zach Hall, Ken Campbell, Tom Sinchek.
I think it's called Them.
Christopher Norris, Brian P. Johnson, Cedric Hunter, and guess who's back in the top 10? It's Gavin Rogers trying to finish out this race.
I think we're thinking of the same movie. I just didn't think it was called Them.
Now, dealing with damage. Has
to find a way.
All right, here we go. Pace car's off.
His way and stay inside of our top 8.
Ready.
Drivers
ready,
up.
go.
Oh, he went early.
Ready for the restart. Who is ready?
Yeah, he did.
Some playoff drama. Will any of the top 6 drivers that entered tonight be knocked out? Let's find out as green flag is back in the air. Vincent Soar gets the launch that's needed. Larry Engling's going to be right on that tail end.
77 and now outside. Going to split with the 24s. Right behind Shane. Ahead of the 17.
It's turn 2. They look good, Justin.
White flag.
Drew way up there on the outside trying to make up any ground he can. This is
going to be 3 wide. Get 17 low, hold your line. 16 outside.
2 laps to go. He's
still 3.
On down here to
hold your line.
Win.
Still 3.
Next round, 2 to go.
14's behind the 16. Hold your line.
Right now.
It's your white.
Still 3.
Fast broadcasting.
14's going to give you a little bit of a bump.
Further on back. They're
you are okay. P16, Brian.
It's Sora, confident, capable. He'll find himself racing for a championship as he wins here tonight. Larry Engling's hopes.
Oh yeah, 16.
We're gonna have some fireworks this evening with some of the positionings.
I think
Kelly finishes in 19th place. Is he in? Is he out? We'll know in the next 5.
I think Kelly
was called
is in.
Live.
But we know 2 things. That's
they live.
Sora and Cedric Hunter are in, and Joshua Kanata is out. Everyone else still up in the air.
Wow.
Anything to go back and look at?
Top 3, but the 51 absolutely dominated this race.
Maybe just where you got punted.
Right now, while we figure out the points behind the scenes. But it has to just
the one a few laps ago.
Is he going to be next week at Wilkes-Barre?
Yeah.
And then final race of the season.
That's about it.
Vegas. I mean, this driver right now, he is rising to the top.
He's shown that he's strong at the short tracks. We already know the dominance at the 1.5 miles. Vincent Sora, already the two-time champion of the WSSR Cup Series. He wants championship number 3 to tie Larry.
It was just before
championships. He gets his season. The number.
It's where the 16 got wrecked.
Vincent Sora burns it down. We'll be back right after this. We'll talk to Vincent Sora, Larry Engling, Zach Hall, and whoever was the last driver to make it into the playoffs will be our spotlight driver. We'll be back right after this.
It was somewhere in here.
Yeah.
So it must be the next wreck after this. So 168.
There you go.
I may have got pushed. Hold on, let's go back and investigate.
26.
Yeah, it may have net coded me forward there when he got that close. Was he?
Yep. Give you a little bit of a shot, not much.
I don't know. I don't know if that's a net code or not. Maybe a little bit. It's hard to tell. Either way, I went in that turn way too fast. And I just had to crank the wheel.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's why I went,
oh yeah.
That's why I went straight to the wall. Let's see what the blimp looks like. Oh, we were 4 wide. I don't know. That might have been a little push.
Really? Set the turbo blasters.
How did we not wreck there? My goodness.
Yeah, definitely saved a bit.
Look how loose it was. Yeah, I missed that one. Just think about how crazy that is that nobody wrecked during that. And we were four wide at Richmond. Let's go on board with. Let's go on board with Kelly. But that was a fun ride, not knowing what was going to happen to my car. you know it's happening. Once a car wiggles that much, something's happening.
Yeah.
He made it clean through though there. Is this where he wrecked and got damaged? Oh, Aaron got. So Aaron got wrecked.
So played out from there. Let's see.
Yeah, Aaron got wrecked. Ken just shoved.
Ooh. Yeah, Aaron got punted too.
Aaron did the same thing I did. Left turn. Left turn, so. No, he was right turn. Oh my goodness. He saved it for real. And then the 7 just gave away.
Oh, 3 lost it by himself. Or 7 rather,
Yeah, 7 did.
Wow.
7 got a little scared off of the 70 and then got throttle happy on the exit and just snapped. Ended Ryan Kelly's championship run. Or maybe not. Do I have audio? Oh, there's the broadcast. They may have the points.
Trying to look at our calculators. The math has been put in, and we've got ourselves our 6 drivers that will race for a championship. The numbers are wildly close, coming down to just 1 point on who was in or out. Crazy numbers. We will talk about them after our interviews.
After the interviews.
Have to go down to victory lane as another driver is locked in with the win. It's Vincent Sora in the 51. Vinny, winner of the stage. It's got to be feeling good with the amount of laps that you led, the dominance you showed all night, on the fact that you got this win heading into the championship round.
Yeah, man. Richmond is it's my place on here.
All right, Derek, take it easy.
So much. I feel like it's my driving style.
I'm probably going to sign off after I look at this one.
And the stats reflect it. I got another win here.
So Kelly dodged one big, massive, almost wreck, and then
Way too long since
that happens in front of him. Whew, that sucks.
I think it's been like 3 or 4 months. I looked up the.
And then he got required damage
like a week or 2 ago because I was so depressed that I haven't won in so long for my standards. But I texted Dan.
Kelly had to see a lot of wrecks there.
I'm winning tonight. I hadn't done any practice before I got in the session, but I'm just so confident coming to this racetrack. I know that if I can put myself in a good spot, that I can come away with a win.
Vinny, he came away with a win. I mean, you dominated this race, like you said, and so it has to lead me to the question. I mean, when we go to North Wilkesboro,
What does 74 see there?
A similar type of track that you can apply what you learned tonight to next week?
Well, I won North Wilkesboro last time we went there in the next gen. I believe. I think I did. And I'm really, really good on the short tracks.
Oh, 74 ended up getting wrecked. Almost.
It'd be big.
Wow, what a save.
To get myself.
Almost, yeah. He saved it, yeah.
Because of this interesting format that we have over here. I really like the format, and I think it's really cool. So, yeah.
All right, Brian. You have a good night, sir. I'll catch up with you again soon.
All right, take it easy. And as always, thank you.
A confidence builder for sure. Watching.
Oh, you're always welcome, buddy.
What's going through your mind when you saw that late caution came out in the middle of the green flag cycle, and the fact that you had to make that decision to
and then GT,
those that were able to pit?
Yeah,
you might have got a little help too.
That's been like the story.
Oh, they were 3 wide.
Here, I feel like, especially.
Damn, look at that 74
in the pit cycle every time. I joked about it before the race started. I said, whenever I pit, we'll get a yellow, and it happened. But I hadn't had enough laps on the tires.
I didn't see how he almost hit that orange car.
Position where I had to drive up through the field.
What a save!
I had to be the leader because I knew everyone ahead of me was going to pit. So yeah, I figured with how little we have left in the race, we get some yellows, and even without the brand new tires, that should be able to hold everybody off.
Vinny, what an impressive run you showed out here tonight. Congratulations on this win and now being tied as the most winningest driver this season. Enjoy this one, and before we let you go, the floor is now yours for any more shout-outs.
Yeah, shout out to Larry for racing me clean at the end. I was a little nervous, but he's a good dude. And
Oh, he hit Cedric. That's how we got sideways.
to everybody in the league, shout out to you guys for broadcasting, and shout out to my teammates at Nightmare Fuel.
And also, Vinny, officially, this win also officially makes
I'm
you
out
the most winningest
later.
driver in